what we're trying to do.
So you get unanimous votes.
There you go. Thanks. All right, Senator Merkley, not a C, but very much a consensus builder on his own.
No, Mr. Chairman, I feel very much excluded from that.
An honorary member.
I think we're going to have the Markey and Merkley team or something to respond. Mr. Secretary, 2 quick comments and then an advocacy. In the infrastructure bill is the Monarch and Pollinator Highway Act, an idea that came from Lamar Alexander in Tennessee to use highways to create insecticide-free pollinator plots to help maintain the strength of our pollinators. And so I just want you to be aware of that. We have seen one of our pollinators, the Western Monarch, drop to less than 1% of the population that existed 20 years ago. And obviously that's very scary indication for pollinators, but it's also kind of touches the heart because the monarch butterfly touches the heart. And to have the next generation of children grow up and never see one is just something we can prevent by utilizing some of our byways along our highways, and would like your help on that. And it's now fully authorized. The second, I called and talked to you about vehicle charging stations and doing them in a manner that makes it as easy to fill up on electrons as it is to fill up on gasoline. Our current system is absolutely chaotic. You have no idea what system you're going to be charged for. Is it a club card? Is it by the minute? Is it by the hookup? Is it by the kilowatt hour? You have no way to compare them. You don't know if you're being price gouged, and sometimes you are after the fact. If we do these stations and they result in the expansion of the same chaotic, confusing system we have now, we will have missed a massive opportunity to do it right. And this is in your hands. Please make sure we do this right. And then let me turn to the third piece, and that is the Mega Projects Grant Program. We have in Oregon a deep water port that is unutilized in Coos Bay, and it was considered for many projects over time that have failed, including a potential LNG export facility that didn't work out for a host of reasons. But it is a perfect place for a container port. There's a whole operation underway to make this happen. You have an existing federal channel. You have quick access to the open ocean. You don't have to go 100 miles up the Columbia River as you do for the Port of Portland. It would expand the West Coast container facility effort by 10%. You have a railroad line that takes you through the coastal mountains to the Willamette Valley to a Class 1 transportation network. You have the land in place for the development of the port itself, but it's a big project. But it meets every one of the 5 stipulations for the Mega Projects Grant Program. So I'm asking for you and your team to take a very close look at this, because when I think about the vision of doing things that have regional and national significance on our transportation system, on our economy, this is it. Like this is the perfect poster child. So I would simply ask that you and your team take a very, very close look at this possibility. And I don't know if you're already familiar with it, but I'd be glad to escort you through the Coos Bay Container Port Project. Years ago, the short line that existed to the Willamette Valley, the company that owned it was going to tear up the railroad tracks and sell the steel. And we got the funding in the state of Oregon to buy that line. Save that railroad line. It's being used now. It's being improved now. It will have to be improved further. We're ready to invest a lot of money to be able to double stack containers through a series of tunnels, strengthen the bridges for the weight. We have the land ready, but we're going to need significant federal support, and I hope it will be at the top of your list for the mega projects.
Well, thank you. I look forward to a chance to see the region for myself, and I'm certainly interested to discuss anything that enhances supply chain capacity in this country.
Thank you very much.
Senator Merkley, thank you for joining us. Senator Markey, I think Senator